This review relates to the TERYX Alpha FL jacket, but it's also relevant to the TERYX Alpha lightweight jacket. So if you're interested in either of those jackets, then watch on. TERYX shell jackets, as well as many other garments, are delineated by typically a Greek letter such as alpha, beta, gamma, followed by a two-letter abbreviation such as FL, SV, LT, etc. As well as distinguishing the different models of jacket, trousers, gloves, etc. from each other, it also indicates what that garment is intended for. Here I'm talking about the Alpha FL jacket. So you might think Alpha, in relation to beta, gamma, zeta, etc., indicates the most premium product in the range. And to an extent that is true, but it's not necessarily the case. I mean, throughout the range, this is TERYX. You're going to get TERYX quality engineering, product design and materials, etc. But the Alpha range specifically is marketed towards climbers and alpinists. So if you are a climber or an alpinist and that's the kind of jacket you're looking for, then the Alpha range will be the premium product. But if you're not, it may well lack some of the features you're after, and you may actually find a better, more premium product in the beta or the gamma range, for example. And then the FL tag on the end of the name, that stands for fast and light. So in this instance, this is the lightest, thinnest, most packable of the Alpha Pro jacket shells. In the range you'll also typically find the LT model, which just stands for light, and the SV model, which is severe. So of course the severe will be the heaviest, bulkiest, the most features of the range. LT somewhere in the middle, and then FL is the most minimalist design. The Alpha FL jacket, as I'm wearing now, is actually no longer currently available in the TERYX range. It may well come back in future seasons, but for now at least this has been replaced by simply the Alpha lightweight. So it's no longer referred to as the LT anymore, it's just simply lightweight. A lot less catchily, but it removes any confusion about the two-letter abbreviations. But despite this jacket not currently being available in the most up-to-date range from TERYX, I'm making this review because you can still, of course, find this in various online retailers, and virtually everything I'll say about this jacket also directly relates to the Alpha lightweight version of the jacket. Indeed, as far as I can tell, the lightweight is an identical jacket in terms of cut and features to the FL. It's just a more modern and up-to-date base material and GoreTex material. So, as I've already alluded to, the FL, this jacket, as well as the current Alpha lightweight, they are the most minimalist, stripped down and lightweight jackets available from the TERYX range of alpinist and climbing shell jackets. Indeed, when it first came out, the Alpha FL jacket was the lightest GoreTex Pro jacket available on the market. So this weighs at around 315 grams for a size medium jacket, which is incredibly lightweight. Your typical 3-layer GoreTex Pro hard shell jacket would weigh 500-600 grams, so almost half the weight. But incredibly, the Alpha lightweight jacket is even more lightweight. So it doesn't use GoreTex Pro, that's been superseded by another GoreTex material, but it is still a 3-layer GoreTex material, and remarkably, it's claimed to be only 235 grams for a size medium jacket, which is just incredibly lightweight. Both these jackets really are incredibly minimalist. They just have a simple one-way zip. So many hard shell jackets will have a two-way zip, so a zipper at the bottom. You can zip up and down from the bottom as well. Many climbers will like that, but personally I don't like that as a feature. Adding an extra zipper at the bottom is just one extra point of failure, and indeed I had a hard shell jacket in the past which I absolutely loved, but the bottom zipper fell off, and then the jacket, which was everything else, was still perfectly fine, but the jacket was useless because I couldn't do it up. So yeah, not having a two-way zip, in my opinion, is a massive plus. It also saves a tiny bit of weight and saves a tiny bit of cost as well because it's less features. And then there's only one external pocket, and that is a simple chest pocket. It's a pretty big chest pocket, you can fit plenty in there, your phone, guidebook, potentially even a map, etc. But yeah, just a single chest pocket, no hand warmer pockets, which again, for climbing an alpine jacket, you don't want those because you're going to have a harness on. Or indeed, even if you're not wearing a harness, you might have a rucksack with a waist belt on. There is also one internal chest pocket as well, and this is welded to the inside of the jacket. Much smaller than the external pocket, so you won't fit much in that. Maybe a snack, maybe a phone if you've got a fairly small phone, but beyond that, really, yeah, it's very minimalist. The hood is adjustable by a single elastic pull cord at the back, and two pull cords at the front. So when worn like it is now without a helmet, you can cinch it right down. It also has a slightly stiffened brim, but this is not a wired brim. Again, it's just slightly thicker material. So it provides a little bit of a visor, but without having the wire, again, it's less weight and less bulk. And something which is essential for climbing an alpine jacket is of course the helmet compatible hood, and this is absolutely compatible with a helmet. Even if you've got a fairly massive head like me, you can still fit the hood completely over the helmet. The visor comes all the way down, and I can still breathe without having the cuff right up around my nose as well. You also have simple elastic adjustable pull cords at the hem for cinching it in around the base, one on each side. So you can tighten it up at the bottom as well. And the release mechanism of these is quite bulky, so that doubles as the means of, in theory, preventing the jacket from riding up if you're wearing a harness, for example. And finally, the last feature on the jacket is Velcro adjustable cuffs, which are, again, as you would expect, very minimalist, very lightweight, but they do the job. Unlike many top-end jackets, neither this nor the Alpha Lightweight have pit zips, which for many people might seem a negative. A lot of people want pit zips in their jacket, but personally for me, it's a massive positive, because again, having an extra zip somewhere, that's an extra point of failure where your jacket can become useless just because the zip's broken. And no matter how good quality they are, no zip is completely waterproof. So again, having two big holes in your jacket, that's two big points for water ingress as well. So yeah, the lack of pit zips for me is also a massive positive. And again, it brings down the cost and brings down the weight. Much like footwear, one of the most important things about any kind of shell jacket is the fit, the cut. And that's going to be very unique to you, so of course it's very important to try the jacket on before you buy. Like all the Alpha range of TERYX jackets, this has a fitted cut, which means it is made for an athletic shape basically. It's broader at the shoulders, narrower at the waist. Again, very slim line. It's made to sit quite close to your body. It's not intended to be worn with lots of layers underneath. Definitely not a puffy layer. You can get thin mid layers on underneath this. It's not intended to be worn over a down jacket, for example. The cut of the Alpha FL in particular is the most extreme of all the Alpha jackets. It's even more slimline, even more fitted than the other Alpha jackets, which also have the fitted cut. And this for me is where the jacket falls down a little bit. Again, the fit is very unique to the individual, but this jacket has got such an extreme fit, there's going to be very few individuals that it actually fits well, in my opinion. So the slim tightness around the body isn't really a problem, that's fine, but it does have incredibly long arms. So this jacket is a medium, and I'm just under 6 foot, and I've probably got a slightly positive ape index as well. And yeah, as you can see, the sleeves, when the cuffs are undone, come down most of the way along my hands, which isn't a major issue with this jacket. That's actually pretty much ideal for me, what I need for this jacket. But if I was to size up in the jacket, the sleeves are about that much too long for my arms. So even though a bigger jacket might fit in my body slightly better, the sleeves were just ridiculously long. On top of that, the front of the jacket is incredibly short. It's about an inch too short really to comfortably be worn with a harness, even though it is made to be worn with a harness. Now as you can see, with a harness on, even as I'm just stood here relatively relaxed, there's only about, well, it's less than an inch of material below the hip bout of my harness. This is just standing up straight without any kind of weight on the harness or anything. If I lift my arms up, already you can see it's pretty much lifted all the way out. Now you can imagine when you've got the weight of a 50-metre rope, maybe 260-metre ropes attached to your harness, plus all the gear on your gear loops, the harness is going to be sitting much lower than that. So basically after a few metres of climbing, the jacket's coming out. So yeah, really not ideal for an alpine jacket or a climbing jacket. Of course, one of the reasons why the jackets have such long sleeves is so that when you are lifting your arms above your head, swinging your axes or whatever, you're doing climbing movements, the sleeves aren't rolling down, they're still coming all the way to the end. So in that regard, the sleeves are pretty much perfect length. But yeah, as I say, the main problem is the length of the front of the jacket. And I know this is quite a common complaint in other reviews that I've seen, so this is not just unique to me and my body size. So really, I feel like I'd be quite a bizarrely shaped person that this jacket's actually going to fit perfectly. Somebody who's very slim but also quite short with very long arms. As I say, I'm just under 6 foot, about 182 centimetres tall, weigh about 90 kilos, so I'm pretty big, pretty chunky for a climber and alpinist, and this jacket is a medium, so this is how it fits on me. In terms of use and performance, I typically use this jacket for things such as lift access backcountry skiing, for example skiing off of the Guida Midi and the Sky Monte Bianco, so skiing the Valley Blanche, skiing some of the steep couloirs off of the Midi, etc. I do also use it for ski touring, but generally if I'm doing a ski tour which involves a lot of up, I'm going to take a soft shell jacket, something that's more breathable, so that if I need to use it when I am on the up, I'm not going to be sweating buckets and getting it sweaty and horrible. But if I'm doing a ski tour with fairly minimal up, or if I'm expecting particularly bad weather on a ski tour, then I will wear this as well, or instead rather. I also use it a lot for ice climbing. Again, it's pretty much perfect for ice climbing, apart from the short hem at the front issue. But yeah, anywhere where you might get wet, but you're not going to be scraping on the rocks, etc. is exactly what I want to use it for. Now, I'm not going to use it for mixed climbing because it's an expensive garment and you're just going to get trashed, especially if you're scrumming your way up a granite chimney while wearing this. But if I'm doing a Scottish winter route which is predominantly on ice and snow, for example, then again I would wear this jacket. And of course it is also my day-to-day shell jacket, so if I'm going out for a walk when weather's like this, then this is the jacket I'll take. Or again, wandering down the high street and it's raining, off to the shops and it's raining, this is the jacket I use. So even though it is a technical jacket, there's no point in me owning a technical hardshell jacket and not using it just to go to the shops when it's raining. As you might have noticed, it had been raining periodically on and off during the filming of this video, so you may or may not been able to see through the camera that, generally speaking, the water does bead off reasonably well. Again, on high wear areas such as the shoulders, it's not been beading off. But that's partly because I have washed this jacket relatively recently and didn't reproof it after I washed it, so it's not performing as well as it ordinarily should. But that's an easy fix, I could reproof it again at any time. Water does generally bead off fairly well and the material doesn't absorb moisture, so in that regard it does what it's supposed to do. And even when I have been out wearing this jacket for prolonged periods of time and the outer material has wetted out, on the inside I've still stayed dry. No moisture has come through the jacket, so the membrane's been doing its job. I have had other hard shell jackets which, once the outer material has wetted out, it then just starts leaking and you get absolutely soaked. So as you would expect with a GoreTex Pro membrane, it is waterproof. And in terms of breathability, it's a lightweight shell, but it is still a GoreTex shell. So yes, it is very breathable for a hard shell jacket, but you're still going to get clammy if you're doing something active while wearing this jacket. I can't directly compare it to any kind of heavyweight GoreTex Pro shell because I've never owned a heavyweight GoreTex Pro. I've always bought lightweight minimalist alpine gear, but I would fully expect this to be more breathable than a thicker, heavier GoreTex Pro jacket. But it is less breathable than other membrane fabrics out there. So in summary, if minimalism is what you look for in a shell jacket, then you can't go far wrong with this. It really is a great jacket, slightly let down by its very extreme cut, but nothing's going to fit everyone perfectly, so you just kind of have to make do with what you've got. And considering this is TERYX, very much a premium pricey brand, it's really not as eye-wateringly expensive as you might think. Being a minimalist jacket, you're not paying for all the features which you don't want. So actually, despite being pretty much top of the range for TERYX products, it's quite a bit cheaper than some of their more featured but lower down the range jackets because you're not paying for multiple pockets, multiple zips, etc. So it still is expensive. You can get much cheaper jackets out there, but it still is reasonable value for money.